High schoolers having success at college opens, good or bad for the sport? Asks Ashby Diaz. I don't know. It would be bad.
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant to the sport. I don't understand it like that. Why would it affect the stature of the sport? I don't understand. Sometimes, like when people say, "Oh, that's bad for wrestling," I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, why does it have any effect at all?
It's kind of fun.
The only thing I could think of maybe where he's going with this is, does it start setting a precedent where you have to compete more, you have to be on this level as a high school kid, you need to get your kid into these college opens and kind of start that mentality, which then creeps down lower and lower age level wise.
Yeah. Huh.
Instead of just like, hey, be a high school kid, be good at high school wrestling, not...
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm so curious in the argument that that is a logical extension of his question, JD. I think, but like an Aiden Sinclair, I believe he's going to do some. You know what? I've actually been badgering him to tell me which ones he's going to do, and he hasn't told me. So I'm wrestling with him today. I'll hold him down until he tells me where he's going to wrestle at, and then I'll bring it to your information on Thursday. So, he's probably not going to have a ton of competitive matches this high school season, and so to challenge himself, he needs to probably go wrestle in college opens, or like the Mirasolas, they're going to wrestle at the Bill Farrell. They're already signed up, and they're probably going to wrestle at the U.S. Open, so they get some really good high-level matches because there's just not a lot of guys that are that good in high school. So, I don't see the issue at all.
I think it's a good option for the elite of the elite high school kids. I still think there's a ton of high school wrestlers where it doesn't even make sense for them to enter college opens. It's kind of a ridiculous.
Well, can I push back one time on that? Sorry,
Okay.
I should let you finish. Go ahead.
Well,
I get too excited sometimes.
I think generally, we see, the Jacks Forrest, the Lukes, etc. We see like 5 to 10 guys and think it's like a lot, when in reality it's a really small percentage of the high school wrestling field. And I don't see a ton of kids stopping competing in high school or wrestling for their team or moving because of the trend of a few of the best doing this. I think we'll see more of the best maybe deciding to do it, or take a year off, which there's nothing you can even do about, than it being a trend that has a negative impact on wrestling or high school wrestling.
Okay, so the other thing I was saying, maybe this was Corona year. I don't remember exactly which year it was, but I know there's a few years back, and I don't really know why we haven't done this again. But Max took like 12 guys, and they're all like state champ caliber type guys, right? To like a local D3 Open, and so for us, it's like, okay, well, if we were gonna go to Super 32. Every single guy on there is spending $600-800, right? They got a flight, hotel, rental car, all this stuff.
Jeez.
And if we're going to drive up to, I think it was UW Oshkosh, right? If we're going to drive up to UW Oshkosh, it's going to cost us $15 in gas money and a $30 entry fee. And we get some really, really high quality matches, So that was kind of where it was for us. And so it's like, you're not having to go wrestle a Midlands, but to wrestle a D3 Open for some of your high school senior studs is like, that's like a similar competition level to where they're at. So they get a bunch of matches for, a really low cost. And there was that question a month or so ago about how does everyone need to be a millionaire to have their kid be a good wrestler or spend $30,000 a year or something? It's like, no, just be resourceful. Like, instead of traveling everywhere, like find competitions like that are cheap and easy.
Yeah. Unless you live in Texas.
There's probably even a college open in Texas.
JD's going to enter it.
No.
I wanted to say everywhere there's college opens. I mean, and for the majority of the country, that's probably true. Maybe Texas is the one place where they're not.
Yeah.
I would bet there is none in Mississippi.
Ben is once again a liar.
Shut up, JD.
You're right, Ben. I think that is a good option. I'm wondering how long these college opens are going to allow the high schoolers in, because that's
Coaches don't want them.
Well, it's like, okay, a college open is run by a college wrestling coach. Why do they want high schoolers going to their event, taking because it's not just them that it affects, but the other coaches are like, dude, I'm here to get college matches. If we beat this kid, it doesn't count. He can beat us. What's the benefit of these college kid or these high schoolers entering?
Aren't a lot of them? A lot of like the smaller colleges don't have that same rule. I mean, the D1 people aren't going to as many opens because of the rule where the 15 matches only count against D1 guys, right? So that's why they're not going to as many opens. But for D2 and D3, I don't believe they have that rule.
Well, meaning if you get a win over a high school kid, it doesn't count for anything. Probably doesn't even go on your record.
Yeah, but part of going to opens is just getting better at wrestling.
That's a bad mindset.
But that no, but I understand what you're saying. For Division 1, the 15 match minimum, it only counts against other Division 1 athlete, Division 1 wrestlers. So they need to be very, and that's why like they're doing the Tiger Style Invitational, or these Army's got one. They're doing these small college invitations where they're going to get 4 or 5 matches. That's why they're doing that and not going to opens as they would have 10 years ago. But for D2 and D3 schools, I don't believe they have that same thing.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.